I know that you get a lot of information from different people telling you that for you to get a passport, you need to bribe somebody. This is really not true. If you have time, you give yourself time to say, I need to get myself a passport within the next 2 months or within the next month. It's much easier for you to get a passport. You can also get your passport by express. Maybe you have an emergency, you need to travel as soon as possible. You can apply for an express passport. But for you to get this express passport, you need to give proof that you really need to travel as soon as possible. So don't be fooled out there and be told that you can't get your passport if you don't bribe somebody. I just got myself my passport very recently without bribing anybody from the immigration office. So this is what I did for me to get my passport. I went to the immigration office and discovered that there was a lot of people trying to get themselves a passport. I think in a day, you will get more or less about 70 or 80 people who are wanting to get their passport. And you will get over hundreds and hundreds of people that are waiting to collect their passport. So when I arrived there, I had to find out what is going to be the process for me that is required that I can do to get my passport. So I was told that the first thing that I need to do is to fill up a form. Now, they don't provide forms there at the immigration. So what you do, you go online on an immigration website and download yourself a form. On that form, it's going to ask you about your particulars, your ID number, and that form is going to have a barcode. So it means that the information that you have punched in there is already going to be in your barcode. That's what I assume. So when you get to the immigration with your form, you will go to one of those small little containers up there where you're going to take a photograph. Nowadays, you don't go and do a photograph from a photographer. The immigration is doing the photographs themselves. So you will go and take a photograph there, and you pay a little bit of fee. I can't remember how much I paid, but you pay a small fee. I think it's 2,000 or 3,000 kwacha. And then what I did after I got taken my pictures, I went back home because I knew that I was late, because by the time you finish the process of getting yourself the photographs, for you to go and stand on the line, it's a big chance that you are not going to be able to be helped on the same day. So I had to go home to wait for another day that I will go to submit my forms. On the day that you're going to submit your form, do as I did. I left very early at home and I arrived there at the immigration office around 5:30. By the time you're arriving at 5:30, you will still find that the seats that are available for people waiting will already be full, because there will be some people that have already slept at the immigration, waiting for them to submit their forms. So in my case, I was almost like number 50, if I'm not mistaken. So it means if you're coming at 5:30 or around 6 o'clock, you will still find people who are there already. And then when the office is open, they will be taking a small number of people to go inside to submit their forms. So they will take at least 10 people in, because the waiting area is divided in two sections. You have the male side and the female side. So they will take 10 males and 10 females. As for women, their line is always faster because there are not always a lot of women looking for their passport. The number of people looking for passport is more male than women. So a woman can come there around 7 o'clock and they will be helped before you, who came at 5:30, because there's just plenty of men that are looking for passports. So when your time comes, like in my case, it was around 2 o'clock, it was after lunch, that when I was going inside to be helped. Inside there, you will first go sit on a line to be helped, where you're going to show them your forms, and then they're going to check in the computer for your particulars, and they're going to interview you and ask you a few questions. Be prepared to sit on that line and wait for a while also, because there are so many other immigration officers who are coming with their forms to be checked there. I don't know where they get the forms from, but there's going to be a lot of them that are coming in and out to check their forms. So these people are given priority. So you might take a little bit of time. After you've been helped, you're going to be asked to go and pay for your passport. There's a kiosk for the bank there, where you're going to go and pay. In my case, I paid 50,000 kwacha for my passport. I wanted an express passport, and I was told by the lady who was helping me that I need proof to prove that I need to travel as soon as possible. So I just did a normal passport. After you've paid for your passport, you will sit again on another line on the section where they need to take your photographs and your fingerprints. Then they will take your fingerprints and your photographs, and then you will be able to leave the premises to wait for the day that your passport is going to be submitted. So make sure that the receipt that you have gotten from the bank, you keep it on a safe place. I would advise you not to come 7 days later or even 14 days later, because with me, I submitted my application on the 17th of September. I just got it just recently. I think it was on the 23rd of November. So September, October, November. So it was almost 3 months that I waited. So whenever you want to come and inquire for your passport, there is also a process that you have to follow. When you arrive at the immigration with your receipt, before you submit it, you need to make a photocopy of it. So you will keep the original receipt. Make sure that you're looking after your original receipt. Then you're going to go on a small window. There's a small window over there where you're going to submit your documents. This process is also very tedious because there's always a lot of people. Everybody wants to squander this space to put or to submit their form. So once you give them the copy of the receipt, they will check on the computer to see where your passport stands. It's a very nicely organized process where you'll be told whether your passport is still at the authorization stage, or your passport is at the printing stage, or if your passport has already been printed. So once your receipt, when you give the receipt in, they're going to write the status of your passport, whether it's an authorization stage, whether it's in the printed stage, or whether it has been printed. Once you are given the indication that it's printed, you will go to the next window. On that window, they will be announcing the passports that are ready. And they announce the passports based on alphabetical order on the surnames. So if you, in my case, my surname is K for Kwerepeta. So I have to wait until they announce the name Kwerepeta. But also, before they start announcing those names, they will announce the passports that have been printed in that week. So if your passport has been printed in that week, your passport is going to be called. You will be called earlier than when they start with alphabetic. So if they finish that week and nobody responds to their passport, I'm sure the next week the passports are put in the alphabetical order so that they will be announcing. If you miss this week when they have released your passport, it means then when you come the other week, you will have to sit and wait until your name is mentioned. So say, for example, if your name starts with Z, you should be waiting until maybe after lunch to hear your name being announced. So that's how you get your passport. There is no other rocket science way of getting your passport. If you want to bribe somebody, it's just that you have so much money, a lot of money for you to waste. Otherwise, if you've got time to wait for a passport, you don't have to bribe anybody. I hope that I've given you the right information and that you will go and apply for yourself for a passport. If you're going to apply for a passport tomorrow, please leave a comment and let me know that you applied for a passport so that we can also track to see how long it's going to take you to get your passport. Because there's still a lot of people that are still doubting that you can get your passport in the manner that I got mine. If you have enjoyed this video and you want to see more of my how-to videos, click on this video. But if you want to learn more about me as a person, click this video. Thank you.